So this is why I think you should absolutely avoid EOTech optics at all costs. Welcome back to the Muzzle Broke channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And today we're talking about my beef with the EOTech optics. In the firearm space, everyone seems to fangirl incredibly hard over these EOTech optics. And to be incredibly honest, I don't really know if I recommend them. And there are definitely a handful of good reasons for that. Although the EOTechs have made a name for themselves as a rugged and reliable optic, I still really am not impressed with them, especially for the cost. I know it's kind of the cool thing to do to run EOTechs on your guns so no one will shit on your optic, but hey, I'm actually going to shit on it a little bit. One of my biggest issues with EOTech specifically is kind of the value of the optic. So this is a $600, $700, $800 optic, depending on kind of what variant you get. And to be incredibly honest, I don't really think you get a lot of features for your money. These EOTech optics don't have the shake wake technology that pretty much every single other red dot in the industry does. And that may not be a big deal to you, but when I'm thinking of practical firearm use, I'm thinking of self-defense, nightstand gun. And one of the most important things for me is for that optic to be on when I pick up the weapon. And the EOTech just doesn't have that feature. For an optic that costs like 6, 7, or 8 times more than something like a SIG or a Holosun optic, there's no really good excuse, in my opinion, to not have the shake wake feature. The EOTechs also don't have the auto off feature as well. So if you leave your optic running to use it in self-defense or nightstand gun mode, there's a good chance your batteries are going to die quite a bit quicker than they would with the traditional shake wake red dot. On top of the lack of features, I've also personally experienced some issues with this specific EOTech. So this is the EOTech 512, which is a little bit of an older model, but was still incredibly pricey, especially for it to have it kind of shit out on me how it did. Last time I was at the gun range with my boy First Shot Tactical, we were shooting this AK with the EOTech on top, and the reticle was incredibly dim. You know, and at first, I thought it was my fault. Shit, yeah, I should have probably changed the batteries before we had a LARP session, but I came home, changed the batteries, and was still experiencing that exact problem. Now, this optic does turn on, and you can see the reticle there, but it's actually pretty dim. I'm filming this video in my dark lair over here, so you can pick up that reticle, but if you aim it at something like a light or even outside in the sun, you really just couldn't see the reticle at all. As soon as you put this reticle towards a brighter light or outside in the sun, you literally can't see it. And to me, that makes this an incredibly useless optic. What's the point? If I can't use this outside on a bright sunny day and actually see the reticle, there's no point in even having an optic. I'll just run the damn irons. But before I got my panties in a wad and made this rage video, I did actually reach out to EOTech support and kind of told them about the dimness issues that I was experiencing with this optic and was kind of hoping they would hook me up with some sort of fix. And just like how Trump gave Kamala the big middle finger, that is also what I received from EOTech. So to EOTech's credit, I guess, they told me that I could send this optic in, and upon them receiving the optic, they would give me a 50% discount code for a new EOTech optic. And that didn't really compute in my lizard brain. So this is a $600 optic that didn't end up working for me. I'm going to send it back in to get $300 to spend $300 more to buy another $600 optic that didn't work for me in the first place. So that just didn't really sit well with me, to be incredibly honest. If I'm spending $600, $700, $800 on an optic, I expect it to work. And to be incredibly honest, I expect you to fix it in the factory if it's not. So although a lot of the people online are going to rant and rave about how amazing the EOTech is and how you might get shit on if you run a Holosun optic instead, I don't really care. For me, it's about features, it's about value, and it's about customer service. And in my opinion, EOTech shit the bed on every single one of those. All right, I'm sure you're nice and pissed off now that you spent $700 on your EOTech, so please feel free to bitch down in the comments below. I would really appreciate a subscribe if you're not too angry, and I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Muzzle Broke channel.